I thought it was pending, and it's not.
Pull the website up, see if the live stream is.
It's Kingston. Where would it
Yeah, we tested.
No, I mean.
Yeah, we tested.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Yep, it's on.
Yeah, everybody uses their mics. You're turning on.
Wonderful, how are you?
Our things. Because I was looking at the election petitions, Anderson County,
Hello. How are you? Good, how are you? Good, how are you?
They're all good with their past.
How are you? It's our feast. So we're not in it. But it's only with the
Yeah, you should get the comments.
well, they do. Yeah, they can see that first. That's not what we see.
I do. You know, just not right.
You saved you a seat back there by Jonas.
like it's very weird. The reason I think that's important is people can know about it, and from a society takes responsibility for their mistakes. Everybody ought to know what it's. Very young, small people always newspapers. What's larger? Or two mistakes. He said they had better. That read our
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Before we get started, before I call the meeting to order, I'd like for the 6-year-old team to come here, because I'm asking them to lead us in the pledge of the flag, please.
Pledge allegiance to the
All right. While they're coming up, I'd like to ask everyone else to please stand. I'd like to ask Mr. Brown to lead us in invocation, and the 6-year-old team here is going to lead us in the pledge of the flag.
Would you pray with me, please? Our Heavenly Father, once again, we come to you with grateful hearts, thanking you for a country that we can live in, that we can gather in a body such as this. We thank you for the future of America, as we see in the future of our country in Rome County, as we see them before us here today. You know, one of the best verses in the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This is an example that you've set for us, and that these coaches and these parents have set. And it makes the citizens and the members of this council proud to say that we are from Kingston. We're also here on a sad note that we've lost one of our members of the Kingston Optimist Club who was instrumental in this program throughout the years, Mr. Ron Phillips. We would ask for just a moment of silence in his honor. Dear Lord, we give you praise and give you thanks for everything that you did for us, and most of all, we give you thanks for your Son, Jesus Christ, who died for us, took for our sins. We give you praise every day. Amen. Amen.
Jane around, keep your hand
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Brown,
Present.
Vice Mayor Childs,
Present.
Councilmember Humphrey, Councilmember Stockton,
Present.
Councilmember White,
Present.
Councilmember Wright.
Present.
Mayor Lewis.
Present. Now do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting? Minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second. Second. Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, do you have any comments or corrections? Mr. Childs, do you have any? Council? Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the minutes.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphrey, Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Lewis.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Now, as you can tell, we do have a lot of citizens in the audience tonight, and we're trying to get this moving along because our air conditioning is not the greatest in the world. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask the Kingston Ozone All-Stars to come up first, and I'm going to ask Mr. Brown if he will go out and come down with me also.
Weaver's over here. Right here, what comes first?
All right, so whereas the coaches and officials of Kingston AA 8-0, wrong one. Okay, right here. The coaches and officials of the Kingston Ozone All-Stars believe a good program should develop goals and objectives to enhance the development of character, fair play, and love of God and country for those who participate. And whereas they develop rules and guidelines to guide these players. Whereas the City of Kingston Mayor and City Council recognize and support the Kingston All-Star Baseball team and the participation in the Ozone League. And whereas the members of the Kingston Ozone All-Stars brought honor to Kingston during their competition by being undefeated, winning the district championship, earning the Sportsman Award, and being 7th out of 16 teams, they are hereby recognized by the Kingston City officials. Now therefore, I, Timothy Neal, Mayor of the City of Kingston, do honorably proclaim proclaim Tuesday, August 14th as Kingston All-Star Day in honor of the members and their coaches listed within.
Guys, as you all know, I serve on the city council, but I've also been probably a 40-year member of the Kingston Optimist Club, serve on its board of directors, but I also am pleased to say that I'm a national director for Dixie Youth Baseball. When these gentlemen won the district, they went to Loudoun County, where they had a few health problems, or they would have probably won the whole thing. But while they were there, they were voted on by the umpires and the organization and the home team over there that they should get the Sportsmanship Award. The Sportsmanship Award is the most coveted award that Dixie Youth can give, and it's named in honor of Mr. Nick Center, who was one of the original starters of Dixie Youth Baseball, who lived in Tennessee, and he was the first commissioner of baseball. So guys, I'm happy. They knew they got this, but I held on to it till tonight. Guys, again, congratulations. And let me tell you that the Lebanon team that y'all played, that went on to the World Series, they came in 5th in the country, and they got beat in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs, a runner on first and third. They walked a guy that already hit 2 grand slams. The next kid up was a pitcher. He took the first pitch and hit a 3-run homer to win the game. So tough luck sometimes, but they'll be back, guys. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Now I'd like to ask the Kingston AA, the AA 8 and under All-Stars to come up.
One more.
Coach Glenn, and y'all not lined them up but once the whole year.
That was open the ceremony.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is proclamations for the Kingston AA 8 and under All-Stars. So whereas the City of Kingston Mayor and City Council recognize and support the Kingston 8 and under All-Star baseball team and their participation in the league. Whereas the members of the Kingston All-Stars brought honor to Kingston to a competition by being undefeated district champs and winning the district sportsmanship award at the district tournament while dealing with blistering heat, rain, and several stormy delays. Whereas they finished 5th in the state and won the state sportsmanship award at the state tournament by demonstrating good character and a sense of fair play. They are hereby recognized by the Kingston city officials. Now therefore, I, Timothy Neal, Mayor of the City of Kingston, do hereby proclaim Thursday, August 16th, as Kingston AA All-Star Day in honor of the members and the coaches listed within. Mr. Brown.
All right, guys, this team went to Fairview, Tennessee for the state tournament, and played some good games down there too. And they came back with the George Penner Sportsmanship Award. Mr. Penner was a national director who passed away last year, who served 42 years. He was the senior national director for Dixie Youth Baseball, so they've named that after him. And it's an honor to give this to them. And one thing I will say about these coaches, they do a great job. I wish my son, who's now 38 years old, was able to play because I coached the biggest part of them a long time ago. That's how old I am. But Coach Lane, this is the 2nd year in a row that he's won Sportsmanship Award coming out of a tournament. So it just shows what comes out of Kingston, Tennessee. Guys, congratulations.
Mama's done.
All right, good job. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All these glad news.
Now the 600 All-Stars come up.
Hey, come on.
All right, whereas the coaching official of the Kingston 600 All-Stars believe a good program should develop goals and objectives to enhance the development of good character, fair play, and love of God and country to those who participate. And whereas they develop rules and guidelines to guide the players. Whereas the City of Kingston Mayor and City Council recognize and support the Kingston 600 All-Star baseball team. And whereas the members of the Kingston 600 All-Stars brought honor to Kingston during their competition by exhibiting good character and sense of fair play. They are hereby recognized by the Kingston city officials. Now therefore, I, Timothy Neal, Mayor of the City of Kingston, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, August 15th, as Kingston 600 All-Star Day in honor of the members and coaches listed within.
Guys, I didn't bring a sportsmanship award for them, but I went back and checked the records, and they were about that close. But, you know, they came in second in the state. This is the first time. Second in the state of Tennessee. Back in April, when the Dixie Youth started in Tennessee, there were over 2,000 teams that wanted to be where they were at. So that says a lot, that to be second out of over all that number of kids that were playing throughout the state of Tennessee. So we don't have a World Series for them. That was as far as they could go. So this is the first time ever that 3 teams from Kingston have competed this well in the state championship.
Good job.
They were also.
All right, 6 years. Let's go, guys. Back up there.
Back up. I want you to.
John, big John.
All right, coach, get up here. Spencer, Sean. See how man do it.
Down on the knee.
Like we head up, baby. Hey, smile.
There you go.
Good job, guys.
You all, if we know already,
Okay, so yeah, we've been doing this now for several months, honoring very deserving employees with Employee of the Month. And I always try to think of something clever to say about each person without sounding repetitious. So put a lot of thought into what I can say about Kelly. And most of you know me pretty well. You know I hike a lot, spend a lot of time in the woods. And one of the things I always take with me is a roll of duct tape. Because if you think about it, duct tape can do anything. If you ever need it, you wonder how you can get along without it. And so I thought about that. I think that's the perfect analogy. If I had a roll of duct tape, I'd give it to you along with your pen. But in all seriousness, Kelly is one of our all-stars. She's the go-to person on so many things, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the times that I've called her and she answers the phone, because usually when I call, I need her to do something that nobody else will do or wants to do, and she always comes through and does a great job on it. So Kelly, I can't thank you enough for the job you do for the city and all the hats you wear, and this is very well deserved, so congratulations. If you'd like to make a speech, I can.
So we'll let them name.
Hey, what if y'all want to go down there right over her head? We'll just have you sit her there very nicely here. Okay.
Yes, the ball.
I thank the dedicated ones that want to stay and listen. Also, we have citizen comments or persons that wish to appear before council. Do I have anyone wishing to appear before council? Yes, sir, Mr. Sugar.
After you get started, or maybe I'll do it now.
Go ahead.
I'm here objecting to dog park being put in my backyard. And I'm going around to each council member, and I'm gonna ask them one question, and I want a yes, no answer, not a bunch of other words. Stephanie, would you want in your backyard?
Yes.
You would, I believe that.
Yes.
In my backyard, no, not in my backyard.
You know what I'm talking about. That's, yeah. Tony?
No.
Don?
No.
Sarah? My question to you people that want that dog park in my backyard and over there on that point, I know you have another place that's just as good, but you want it over there. At night, if the scent comes up, would you be willing to come over and clean up the dog doo-doo that they leave there in the park, in the dog park for a period of time? Do you understand? Yeah, I know you got
Hopefully,
to- that's in
well,
your
if you're
voice,
asking me
but
a question, I'd like to respond.
Okay.
Hopefully people will have personal responsibility, and if they don't, we do have, we do clean up, keep
I
our
know how
park.
that goes inside the city. You can tell that by the duck stuff on the sidewalks. Sarah?
Mr.
I
Sugar.
mean,
Mr. Sugar. Your complaint is valid, and I agree with your complaint, but we're not going to go with each council member tonight and ask some questions back and forth debating whether or not the dog park should be put
okay, that's
in
fine.
your backyard.
I just want to express my objection to it, my personal use, people that live around me, the people that live over there on Circle Drive, and knowing you all have another place. It's a good place, it's a big place, and I think that's where it should be.
Yeah, Mr. Sugar, it's on the agenda to accept the dog park grant. If you want to stick around and listen. Is there anyone else that wishes to appear before council tonight? Okay, seeing that, we'll go into reports. Start with Ms. Wright. Ms. Wright, do you have anything?
Nothing, sir.
Ms. Stockton?
No.
Childs?
It's like saying the gazebos are starting to look really good.
Just for you.
Mr. Brown, anything? No, sir. Mr. White?
Yeah, the new parking arrangement down on Court Street, I noticed it's working a whole lot better than what was there before, and also the street department has started working on 3rd Street going up, above Jamie's Barber Shop, southwest, I guess that would be. And it's more up through there, so the city's been, David's been involved in it. They've been, working hard trying to get more parking for us. And, it's working out good, I think. I just want to say thank y'all for doing that.
Anything else? Yes, Hunter's. I'm gonna still city manager's under something over the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items. First of all, you may have seen on Facebook earlier this afternoon, but we have officially started live streaming our meetings. So unless something's happened since we got started, we should be live with audio and video. So we've still got some kinks to work out with the camera placement, but we're working on those. But we are happy to be live and using that function of our website. I mentioned you in an email, and I don't always get response, so forgive me for being repetitive if you've already heard this stuff, but we were successful in getting FHWA to reclassify Lad Landing Boulevard, which now makes it eligible for SDP funding. I have a conference call set up Friday with TDOT and with our engineers, and I'll be bringing more information to you next month. As we've talked about before, if this is something you ultimately approve, we'll be able to offset 80% of the cost of this project. So that's a very significant project and a good use for those funds. So we'll be bringing you more, but we were very happy to get that reclassified. I didn't think we were going to be successful, so that was good news. Our air conditioner, our new air conditioning unit is scheduled for delivery and installation later this month. I'd hope to have an official date on that, but I don't. Sometime probably in the next couple of weeks. When we do hear a date, we'll let you know. We're going to be glad to get that behind us. As you can feel, we're kind of on borrowed time, limping by with our unit we currently have. They did tell us that for safety reasons, we'll have to close City Hall and restrict access to the parking lot while they're working. So once we have a sure date on that, we'll be getting the word out. They said initially they think they could do it in half a day. I think that's a little optimistic, but we'll just have to play it by ear. But I'll let you know as I learn more. As you know, the Storm the Fort Triathlon is coming up a week from Saturday. This event started 6 years ago, and the first year we had 70 participants. This year I'm happy to announce that we had our first sellout ever and 250 participants. Of those, only 9 are local and 19 are coming from other countries. So this has grown into an amazing event. We're very proud of it. It's a great way to expose people to Kingston. So I just want to thank everybody that's involved in that, and looking forward to seeing that event happen this year. Speaking of our parks, and Mr. Sugarman mentioned this a minute ago, you've almost certainly seen the problems that we've had with geese lately. Aside from being unhealthy, they're making an absolute mess of our walking trail and our docks. We removed the feeders a while back, as you know, and that seemed to help for a while, but it seems like we have a new group that's settled in and they don't really want to leave. I met with Rick about it this morning. We're going to try a couple things. The first is a non-toxic chemical that basically you spray on the grass. It doesn't harm the geese, but it flavors it in a way that they don't like. And hopefully they'll go on somewhere else where they can eat some grass that tastes better. If that doesn't work, we've also looked at a portable solar power device that plays every so often, plays predatory sounds that has gotten pretty good response in scaring geese off. So at this point, we'll try anything. I do want to say that we get several comments from people who don't think we're cleaning up after them. I can assure you that's not the case. I personally went out a couple Fridays ago and did 58 gravel pit and city park myself, and by Monday you couldn't tell that I'd done anything. So they do make a horrible mess, and just wanted people to know that we're proactively trying to do something about it. So we'll hopefully have some progress on that. And finally, and I'm just going to touch on this a little bit because there'll be more officially coming out soon, but you probably saw in my email yesterday, I want to congratulate Carolyn and her staff for being awarded the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. This is the highest form of recognition in governmental accounting and financial reporting. It's a very significant accomplishment that took a lot of work by a lot of people to do. So hats off to them for that. All the counties, cities, utilities, and other government entities in the state of Tennessee, only 54 were awarded this last year. So it's a very high honor. We'll be having somebody come in the next month or two to do a formal presentation. But I did want to take this opportunity to commend them for that achievement. So give them your compliments. That's something to really be proud of. So, Mayor, that's all I have. Unless you have any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for City Manager?
Oh, and just one thing, when you're talking tonight, because we are live streaming, please be sure to use your microphones, because if you don't, it won't pick up the audio.
All right, so item number 7 is addition to the items of the meeting agenda received at the close of the deadline. I've not received any. There is no unfinished business, so we'll go straight into new business. Item A is to authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Spectre Tech for design and engineering service for the Southwest Point Amphitheater. Do you hear a motion to authorize this?
Make a motion.
Do you hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Stockton, second by Mr. Childs. Ms. Stockton. Council. I do have one thing. Looking at the rate, I think we need to add our figures up. I'm getting a little bit more than what's on there. Showing a rate of 33,500. For a breakdown, it comes out to 34,000. So we need to double check that and make sure. No one else has anything. Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries. Yes. Councilmember Stockton. Yes. Councilmember White.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan. Yes.
Aye. Item B is to authorize the city to purchase a property on Ray Street for the price of $50,000. This is the piece of property we talked about and even voted on last month. I think this is something that the city attorney wants us to have. Is that correct, sir? Do you hear a motion to authorize this purchase?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Mr. White. Ms. Wright.
Nothing, sir. I think it'd be a great addition to downtown.
Ms. White. Sorry. Mr. White.
Glad to what's going on down there now. There's a lot of planning going on. As we sit here tonight, that's been going on. Tara's been working real hard with it. And we met with REU about cleaning up some lights, changing some lights out. The big problem is gonna be with the phone company. They've got some abandoned cables hanging everywhere. I don't know if you've been able to contact, I believe it's Mr. Gibbs, you've been able to reach him.
Left a message.
That's all I got.
This also, as the city manager was telling me, was also includes the 25,000 for the county, correct? Anyone else on the property on the registry? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries. Yes. Councilmember Stockton. Yes. Councilmember White.
Yes.
Councilmember Ryan.
Yes.
Mayor Hill.
Aye.
7
Type on the next one, it should be item C. Is acceptance of a $25,000 dog park tax grant from the Boyd Foundation. Do you hear a motion to accept this grant?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Stockton, second by Ms. Wright. Ms. Stockton.
I know a lot of people worked hard. I know the foundation worked really hard as far as Outdoor Kingston as well with the city to be able to fundraise to go along with this 25,000 to make a dog park that is just one of the best in the states. And we think that that's very doable with all the volunteers that we have that's going to help with the park. Something that the whole city has been very, very excited about and then also supportive of the dog park.
Ms. Wright.
I couldn't have said it better.
Council, Mr. Johnson. Anything?
I want to say, it would be a great asset to the city. Talked to some of the people in other cities that have them, and they really appreciate having it. Great asset.
Randy, anything?
This grant is in the city of Kingston's name, correct? I mean, that's who's getting the money, is the city of Kingston and not the foundation or anybody else. It's to us.
Mr. White?
Does that mean that we can put the dog park anywhere we want to?
We're trying to decide the acceptable part first. The next item talks about the location.
Whatever.
Ms. Humphries? Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries. Yes. Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Newman.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item C is approval of location for the North Palms Dog Park. Instead of throwing anything back, I'd like to send this back to the work session, talk more about it. And get more input on the location. So can I get a motion, unless anybody says anything else, I'd like to get a motion to table items D, which should be.
I'll make a motion that we table it to workshop.
Second, Mr. White. Motion by Mr. Childs, second by Mr. White, to table this motion until the September workshop. Right, the September council meeting. Council. Mr. Child, sorry. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Childs,
Yes.
Councilmember Humphries. Yes. Councilmember Stockton,
Yes.
Councilmember White,
Yes.
Councilmember Wright,
No.
Mayor Newman.
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 no.
That concludes the agenda for the regular scheduled meeting of the Kingston City Council. This meeting is adjourned. Now I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Kingston Beer Board. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Humphries, Member Stockton,
Present.
Member White,
Present.
Member Wright.
Here.
Chairman Newman.
Present. Do I hear a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
No business, it looks like the minutes are correct. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll on the minutes?
Member Brown,
Yes.
Member Childs,
Yes.
Member Humphries, Member Stockton,
Yes.
Member White,
Aye.
Member Wright.
Yes.
Chairman Newman.
Aye. Nothing to come before the Beer Board, this meeting is adjourned. Now I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Kingston Water Board to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for the water?
Member Brown,
Present.
Member Childs,
Present.
Member Humphries, Member Stockton,
Present.
Member White,
Here.
Member Wright.
Here.
Chairman Newman.
Present. Do I have a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. White, anything? Humphries? Board, do any corrections or deletions to the minutes?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Brown?
if you will look over on page 2 of the minutes, top, it says a motion was made to accept the city maintained water lines. If you read the minutes in its entirety, it's kind of confusing because we voted to do away with the policy. We voted that down. Then we came right back and voted to do something, and it says that we amended to include items 1, 2, and 3. Item 1, 2, and 3 was part of the
policy that the city manager presented. So that failed, so we don't have 1, 2, and 3. You know, our minutes speak for us, and 3 months from now, or 10 years from now, somebody comes back. So I asked the city manager if he would put the policy back, and I think, does everybody have it? Did he give everybody one?
No, I just,
Okay.
just got
What
that.
it says, what I'd like to do, Mr. Chairman, is to amend the minutes to reflect what item 1, 2, and 3 are. Item 1 is a plat prepared by a licensed surveyor showing an easement of at least 15 foot in width. Item 2, a title opinion showing ownership of the property to be burdened by easement. Item 3, agreement that the easement will remain exclusive and unobstructed. It just doesn't, that's what we voted on, to include those, but it doesn't show that in the minutes. I move that as an amendment.
That being a correction to the minutes, it could be added as part of Mr. White and Ms. Humphrey's motion, if they're okay with that. Just attach this to the minutes.
I don't know if we want to attach the whole thing,
Right,
because it's got just the 1, 2, and 3.
Right, just the 1, 2, and 3.
Because the rest of it's got a number, and it says more stuff than we were going to require of the people to do that. And that was on, you know, all sitting there talking about Sandy put his opinion into it, that we needed the survey, and we needed proper paperwork to allow us, that would give us the easement. And if we don't do that, there's no way of telling what we did.
Yeah, basically what this is doing, is just spelling out what items 1, 2,
1,
and
2,
3
and 3,
are.
not
and
changing
voted
anything.
for. We're not changing anything, it's what we voted for last month.
That's
It just adds them to the minutes, so, like you said, 5, 10 years from now, somebody can go back and look at it and see what we did, this was the reason why.
That's my whole reason.
Problem, Mr. Chairman, or do you, when that's our problem?
Since I wasn't there, I just want to be clear, those are the only 3 things that we're requiring?
Right, yes, that, off of what if you remember, David had sent us out a policy, and there was probably more than 3, I can't remember exactly how many there were.
Okay.
But 3 that we brought out was about the plat, title showing ownership of the property, and the agreement that the easement will remain exclusive and obstructed. If you want to look at these before, we'll pass
No,
it
that's
down.
fine. As long as they're written as read, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, all it's doing is adding this to the
Okay.
minutes, so it reflects what we did.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, now, clerk, call on the minutes, please.
Member Brown,
As amended, yes.
Member Thomas,
Yes.
Member Humphries, Member Stockton,
Yes.
Member White, Member Ryan,
Yes.
Chairman Lee.
Aye. Next is citizens' comments. Do we have anybody wishing to address the water board tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll go into the utility director's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items in addition to the information in my written report. In situ form, they have recently tied up finished up their cure in place work for this year. I want to report a couple things we found and repaired a couple very bad places, including a couple areas where the sewer line was almost completely full of giant tree root. Just almost the size of the line. Unless you saw it, words really can't do justice to how bad these blockages were. And honestly, it's a miracle that sewage was able to flow through them. But those have been fixed, and again, that's just a benefit of us doing this work. And I just want to thank you as a board for providing the funding for this. As I talked about when we proposed it, it's really an invaluable way of prolonging the life of our sewer system, and that's just a couple of good examples as to why. Not really ready to go into formal discussions on this, but I just want to give you a heads up in case you're contacted, that we have had a couple of requests from people who want to talk to us about outside the city sewer. both areas are within the utility district of a neighboring utility, but would almost certainly require our involvement in terms of collecting the sewer or taking the sewer to treatment. This could potentially be a good way for us to generate revenue without a lot of infrastructure costs, but it is uncharted territory for us, and it's something that's going to take a lot of planning and discussion if you decide you want to consider it. Again, I just give you a heads up about that because it's probably going to be coming to you for formal discussion pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. Just a reminder, the TAUD Utility Leadership Conference is November 7th through 9th in Gatlinburg. I don't know that any of you have ever been to a TAUD conference, at least recently, but it'd be great if at least some of you could attend. There'll be a lot of good information, almost definitely some training hours that you can pick up there, and they're pretty good conferences. This one is geared more toward management and board leadership, so I think you'll find it helpful. And I'll be forwarding more information about that as it becomes available. Finally, I want to brag on our utility for a minute. Some of us just came from another TAUD conference, and there was a lot of discussion about line loss. This is something that's already heavily scrutinized. It's in our audit now, and it's going to be more and more scrutinized in terms of tying it to potential grant money and a whole lot of things. So they're really taking that serious, and I'm very proud to report, as you may have seen in my written report this year or this month, ours was 13%. To put that into context, there are several utilities in the state, including some very close to us, that consistently have losses over 50%, which means they're putting more in the ground than they're providing to their customers. And this low rate doesn't happen on its own. Very thankful to our crews and also to you for your investment over the years in updating our water lines. So that's a big problem that fortunately we don't have, and just wanted to commend everyone involved for that. And Mayor, unless you have any questions, that's all.
Are there any questions for the utility director?
Yeah, we're just, he left out just a couple of things, I just want to brag a little bit. We had a major water leak in front of the courthouse. Those guys, I reckon we washed the whole downtown out. Departments came together well and took care of that. The courthouse had to close, but I don't know if they really had to or not. They left at 11, and the water was back on around 10:30, 15 minutes to 11. But the other big one that they did, the water leak that we had that flowed the interstate out, the state, under their strict guidelines, had the city to, at our expense, to fix that. They helped a little bit, but that happened. The guys came back in after midnight for a flow pattern of traffic that was slower than daytime, and patched back probably a 6 foot hole. Took a couple of 3 hours, but no incidences at all. So again, those guys worked hard. I know we don't brag on as much, but until you wake up, your wife says, "We don't have any water, I can't go to work." You wonder what's going on. So, and I appreciate getting the texts about water being out, because as soon as your neighbors call, they expect us to know exactly what's going on. But the guys did a good job. Even if you were on vacation, we didn't have that.
I appreciate that, and on both of those and other things, thank the highway department and other agencies for the help in those. A lot of big situations like that, even though we got lucky on the one, the interstate could have been worse. A lot of things we need help with, and it's good that we have so many agencies that can come together and get things done. So
that brings up another thing, if I can follow up on that. I don't want anybody to think that when I say something about the other departments working good together, when I get called in my other capacity, we're gonna do what we can to help not only the city of Kingston, but the other ones. But no means, I don't want any of you all to think that when you see me there, and I'm there for a long time, that I'm not trying to be there as a water board person. I think we need to stay out of the day-to-day operations, and unless the administrator calls us, that includes asking people to do something, and going to the employees and all that kind of stuff. If we need anything done, it can go to David. But I'm a little bit different than everybody else. I sat on the steps most of the time that day and watched. In order to asphalt the other one. Thank you.
Dave.
slip line, Orange Circle Road. It was stopped up on top of the hill up there by roots. In front of my house, it was stopped up with roots. It was a sweet gum tree. I did a plan 40 years ago that it was there. The tree's no longer there, so you won't have to worry about it. I got Mr. Wiggs to come cut it down and haul it off.
We had another one.
Didn't dispose of none of it at the city overfield. We're overfilled brush.
We had another one on another street that literally lines this big, the root was almost that big. And you think this is something that started out so small that it was able to get through a tiny crack or a joint and expanded that much. So that's,
One thing, when we had the TDA commissioner here on Friday the 27th, we talked about water availability. That morning, Mr. Henry called me on his way in and asked what our percentage of water loss was. David just said 13%, and he said that's probably as good as anybody in the state. So that's very good. That means it's less water than we have to make, we have to charge for. All right, so let's go to the next item on the agenda. Is to authorize should be authorized the chairman to execute an agreement with J.R. Walford for engineering services for the Galilean Road water line extension. Do you hear a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
From Ms. Wright. Now here's a second.
Second.
Second one, Mr. White. Ms. Wright.
Nothing, sir.
Mr. White.
Something we gotta do, we're gonna provide water.
Board, do we have any comments? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Brown?
Yes.
Member Childs?
Yes.
Member Humphries? Yes. Member Stockton?
Yes.
Member White?
Yes.
Member Wright?
Yes.
Chairman Lee?
Aye.
Seven.
Is there any other business come before the water board tonight? Seeing none, this meeting's adjourned.
Is it Melvin's gas had to grow in 5 years? There's gonna be a lot of fish tournaments. We don't need this one. This one.
Oh, what you got?
That's not what was around on board. No, but my battery was saying for a minute, and I said it just started going down, so you take the battery off and then you try to get it on. And then I found out. I didn't know that. So we'll have some lit figures. But if they're stringing line, that's way back there. So who's in there? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I gotta go down to education. Yeah, no, that's gonna be interesting. Last night, basically said they were going to put her on yeah, but they didn't say they were not going to do it.
You running for mayor, no? No. I'm saying there in the fall, all I see is blackberry bushes.
I don't know that plan, I just don't care. The county commission's not going to get in. Because their plans to force it through, but, well, that's true.
I'll definitely do better. Let's see, I'm whereabouts.
Hey, Dave, yeah, that outlet's dead, and maybe somebody's check it, because that lost, I couldn't get the third team because of that outlet's dead, my camera went bad on that.